Colorado Avalanche took a 3-0 series lead over the Los Angeles Kings in their round 1 series last night. You got to feel pretty good about a 3-0 lead, but one of the areas of the team that continues to be a frustration, as it was all season long, was the Avalanche power play. They are up to a whopping 0 for 9 in the series right now, so I wanted to actually go through some of those power plays and look at where the issues might be. It is important to note, I'm not worrying about zone entries. Those are a separate problem, and I'm not going to focus on any of the rush chances because the Avalanche are obviously good at those. Those are obviously good scoring chances, but I want to look at the quote-unquote half-court offense issues that continue to plague the Avalanche, some of the personnel problems, and get into what might be going wrong here. So let's get started. We're going to go chronologically from games 1 through 3. So let's get started. This is the first power play. They finally get it set up. As you can see, we're 1 minute and 22 into this thing, so it has not gone well so far. Important to note as well, the Avalanche are 3 for 9 on faceoffs on the left side. That's Gabe Landeskog. 3 for 9 on faceoffs in the offensive zone to start the power play. So losing 6 of them has really hurt. All right, we're gonna move up here. We've got this. All looks pretty okay right here. You'll see the Kings right here. Nice little box here. Kadri is nice and low right there. They've got Landeskog in the middle. This is fine. Like this is how the Avalanche would like to set things up. Unfortunately, it doesn't actually look like this very often, which we'll get into. They don't do a whole lot from this formation though, and we're going to see why. Cale Makar is going to just walk the puck over. He's trying to get to McKinnon on the back door. Does not get that, and then it's out. This one and done is something that we will see plagues this power play quite a bit. So on to the next one. You can see we fast forward the zone entry. Once again, here we are, a lot better spacing from the entire group right here. Much better spacing from here. Natchez is going to have options. He can try and go into the bumper, although that guy's stick is a little bit scary. He can go down low to Nathan McKinnon. The cross crease over here to Kadri, if he were to go down low, isn't really there. This isn't available, and Makar out here is just kind of hanging. So from here, Natchez, this is a thing that they like to do. He goes down to McKinnon, and then he touches it really quickly to Landeskog. We will see this actually produces a decent look, but it gets blocked. Makar recovers the puck, throws it down to Kadri, who gets it across the ice. This might be one of the best scoring chances the Avalanche have actually had from this setup, and it's Drew Doughty almost putting the puck into his own net. Obviously, that's not what you want. It would have been fun had that gone in, but relying on the other team to score into their own net isn't such a great strategy. All right, moving ahead here, we get into the next power play attempt. This one's going to be quite a bit better. I like that patience from Makar right there. They get a little bit lucky. The Kadri cross ice pass there. This blind backhand from McKinnon is something that he does a lot, and when it works, it looks like this and produces a great scoring chance for Gabe Landeskog. When it doesn't, it's incredibly frustrating, as we will see. That's just a great save, and then they get it out, but that's actually a genuine, that's a good scoring chance. This is a clip that shouldn't be here, so we're just going to watch this. This is a little bit of brief ineptitude here. A nice turnover by Marty Natchez. Scott Lawton pokes it out. That's from Game 3. That's why it shouldn't be here, so we'll just skip through that. Great job. All right, on to the next one. We've got, this is a good setup in theory. There's a lot of space over here. So this is something that you're going to see a lot of with the Kings. They are shading a lot of their coverage over here to this side because McKinnon and Natchez are constantly over there, and those are the dangerous guys. All right. Play this through. As I said, there was a lot of space. They move it over to Kadri. The options here aren't great. There isn't a play here. There's not really a play here with 2 Kings players right there. This isn't really an option either. So the only real option that he has that makes a lot of sense is let's throw it back to Makar. Nothing accomplished there. They don't really spread them out that much. I do want to note, though, that Joel Edmondson does come out pretty far on Kadri here. Again, this is in game 1, and this is an important little distinction as we will see moving through these. And then from here, the Avs are, okay, well, how do we do this? That quick play from McKinnon down to Nature's here opens up this spot if they wanted. They hold on to the puck instead, and a lot of desperation from the Kings, just trying to keep them from making the backdoor pass. We know the Avs don't actually like that, though. Not a lot actually going on here. Like, there's not a lot. There's a lot of space up here, but the Kings are fine with that. The further the puck gets away from the net, that's a good thing, right? So we're not looking at a lot of actual options here. And then McKinnon gets the puck, and he just goes straight to the net. That you have to like. You like the aggression. Good job by the Avalanche. Good job by Gabe Landeskog to retrieve that puck. And then this is a really important play right here. Nazem Kadri, we know he has a broken finger. We know that he's playing because it's the postseason. He's going to have all day. There is nobody around him. The Kings have completely ignored him. He's got all day, and he doesn't want to shoot. He doesn't want to shoot. He really doesn't want to shoot. He eventually does because he just has to. It's too open. He eventually shoots. It doesn't go in. Okay, fine enough. The Avs do a good job retrieving the puck here. They've got a good look. Right here is a really, really good look if they wanted it. Makar hangs on a little bit too long, gets it to Kadri, and then they move it right back up to the top of the circle. Again, they're getting further away. You see how far away they have drifted out further from the net constantly. The Kings are doing a good job keeping the Avs on the perimeter. The Avs are not a lot of movement here. This accomplishes nothing. This whole little sequence between Kadri and McKinnon passing back and forth to each other, it accomplishes nothing. They don't do anything. They don't get a good look out of it. Kadri clearly doesn't want to shoot, although it's early in game 1, so we haven't totally locked in on that yet. All right, we're going to move ahead. I'm also, I guess there's a lot of aspects of this Avalanche power play I'm ignoring, but the Avalanche also have taken several penalties to end their own power plays. I don't feel like there's a video breakdown required to say that's bad. So I skip those sequences. Seems fair to me. This is the one late in the third period. It's more of them trying to play keep away, but I wanted to include this clip right here because Nathan McKinnon, it's the blind backhand pass. He's going to make this right here to Gabe Landeskog. There's nothing really wrong with this in theory, but game situation, this was when the Avalanche were largely just trying to kill time, keep the puck away from them. The rim around to Marty Necas would have made a lot more sense. And instead, McKinnon going with the killer instinct here. I get it. You're hardwired the way that you're hardwired, right? You can understand it. But that play doesn't get through. It's a low percentage play. Trying to make that blind backhand pass, it's something that McKinnon does a lot of. We've already seen it a couple of times here. All right. We're going to fast forward in here. This is game 2. The Avalanche don't have very much power play time in this one because, again, they penalties shorted out their own power play time. But you'll see they are set up. The puck goes here. Necas immediately one-touches it across the ice. Nazem Kadri, once again, he's got all this time. He is allowed, because he doesn't want to shoot, he's trying to figure something out. He has allowed the defender to get into the action. Puck does get on net, and it's a stop. It's not a great scoring chance, though. So the Avalanche get the puck back, they retrieve it, they reload, and they go for a one-timer from Marty Necas. Something that we've seen very little of in this series. And a lot of that is because the Kings are actively trying to stop that from happening. They create 2 good looks there. I would like Kadri to make a quicker decision. I would like him to shoot faster. If he's going to do that, I would like for him to just do it. If he's going to pass, okay, great. They reloaded it. They get it to Marty Necas. All of that is good. You like that. I don't really have a strong objection to that. So the problem there is that how little it has happened so far. All right. Here, once again, they are set up in the zone. They don't know there's no chemistry here. There's no pressure. Look at the space right here. There's no pressure. 2 of Colorado's most dangerous players are standing closer to the wall than they are to the net. That's a problem. They've got Landeskog bracketed right in the middle of this Kings box. Not great. That's not a real viable option. And then the back door is going to have to go through all kinds of screens. Makar up here is hunting for that space. He's really good at getting into that space and taking advantage of it. McKinnon doesn't really know what to do, and you'll see this a lot. McKinnon and Necas will just swap positions when they don't really know what to do. What exactly this is accomplishing is kind of a mystery to me, because it does not stress the defense out a little bit. All they do is put a little bit extra pressure on there, but that extra pressure hasn't turned into anything. McKinnon turns up the wall. There are no really good options here that have been presented as a result of these decisions. This lack of symmetry between McKinnon and Necas is a major component of these problems that they have. Now McKinnon has skated himself into the corner. Necas at least goes to the front of the net, but there are two defenders here. This stick right there is blocking that pass. So again, are they creating options by doing this? Are they exploiting the extra space? His safest option might be to just try and get it out to Cale Makar, he's standing just at the blue line. There's no danger involved in any of this. All right. And then he throws it to Necas. They actually get a decent look. That was maybe the most dangerous play that he could make, and they just don't quite connect on it. That's fine. They reload. He forces it across to Kadri, who has a hard time collecting. And then again, a little bit of hesitancy in shooting it because the broken finger. He doesn't want to shoot. It's not what he wants to do. It is a major problem with this. All right, we move into game 3 here. This is the power play at the end of the first period. It took them a while to get set up. It's bad. It's really not good. The coaching staff wanted to give it a different look. They put Nick Waugh right there. Nick Waugh instead of Nazem Kadri. The problem is now you've got 4 right-handed players who are on your top power play unit, and the lone left-handed player is down low right there. Nothing. That's the dangerous play. McKinnon goes out and he can't make it. He can't get the puck to Nick Waugh. Nothing. There's nothing dangerous once again. All right. This is the same power play at the start of the second period. They get set up really quickly. This is a good look. This is a good look if they wanted to do that. McKinnon's got it on that half wall where his own indecision walks him into. He walks out in front where the two Kings defenders, I didn't pause it in time. The two Kings defenders were able to get into the shooting lane. It gets blocked. Nothing there. Now they're scrambling for the puck, just trying to retrieve it to get set back up. McKinnon, blind backhand, out of the zone. It's a problem. It's a consistent problem for him. This is the one that I really struggled with. This was the whole catalyst for me wanting to do the video. All right, your third period, they're in the power play. Chance to really stretch this lead and put a lot of pressure on them. They get set up. Nazem Kadri gets into some space. All right, they're still trying to figure it out. They're moving the puck around. All of this is pretty good work. McKinnon, what I do like here is that McKinnon has been moving around the zone. You can just see a stick right there. He's been moving around the zone trying to present different options. That is a good concept. It just has to lead to something. McKinnon is a blind backhand, goes up the wall. Kadri's not prepared for that. He's not in position for it. I don't know what McKinnon's trying to do there. They do manage to keep this in the zone. It's a nice play. That's a nice touch by Makar over to Necas. McKinnon going to this backdoor spot right here. They don't try that. All right. Now here they are down low. You've got two defenders are attacking McKinnon. He's got Nazem Kadri wide open, and he's got up the boards here. If he really wanted, he could try and slip this to Gabe Landeskog. This is why teams like to play from behind the net, because when the penalty killers want to attack the puck, it creates a lot of options and a lot of lanes. What do the Avs do? He takes the safe route, tries to get it to Necas, gets it blocked. The Avalanche actually recover this. And this, Makar gets it out high here, down the wall. This is a good look, but you've got two guys right here that are not being dangerous and are essentially covering each other. They're making it much easier to defend. Makar is going to walk into space. That is a great touch across the ice from Necas. But once again, you'll see this is a really important part here. This box right there, they are shading all of their coverage this way and this way because those are the dangerous threats for the Avalanche. They are not respecting. This is the third game of the series. They are not respecting Nazem Kadri because he does not want to shoot it. He once again right here. He could have shot this puck. He had a shooting lane, and instead he tries to feather this pass down low to Nathan MacKinnon. It is a big problem right now with this unit that Nazem Kadri clearly doesn't want to shoot. He's reluctant to do so, and it is hurting them. The lack of symmetry between Necas and MacKinnon is really, really hurting them because they aren't creating any opportunities together, not creating any chances. This is a big reason why the power play is 0 for 9. It's going to be hard to continue to win games in the postseason if your power play isn't being dangerous. There have been some good looks in this, but some of their best scoring chances came on the rush. Again, I didn't include those. But when they get into this half-court style offense, the lack of threat from Kadri on that wing needs to be addressed. Somebody else needs to go out there. If he's not going to be a threat to shoot out there, he's also not helping Landeskog in the faceoffs. Kadri's taken no faceoffs in this postseason series so far. Again, broken finger. It's not something that he can do. So I think that this is just a personnel problem and that Brock Nelson needs to probably take that spot to open it up. They tried it with Nick Waugh and it got even more compact. That's the opposite effect of what they're looking for. You're trying to spread teams out and create a lot more passing and shooting lanes. They're not getting any of that done. All of that is tough. It is a big problem for them that they need to address going into Game 4 on Sunday as they look for the sweep. We will take a look at that. If there are any adjustments made, that's probably something that I'm going to want to key on after the series or after Game 4, if they win, lose, whatever. Thank you for watching. This has been another episode of the Avalanche Film Room, and like and subscribe, and we'll continue doing this.
We all silly like the mayor.